Om Agyantimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutaha Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Priyashtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So welcome all of you all for our weekly Gita class. So today we are discussing the 13th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Nature, the Enjoyer and Consciousness. So before we get into chapter 13, like we have been doing every week, we'll do like a quick recap of all the first 12 chapters, just the acronym, how the 12 chapters are divided. What is the acronym for chapter 1? Doubt. Acronym for chapter 2? Gita. Acronym for chapter 3? Tree. Acronym for chapter 4? Years. Very good. Acronym for chapter 5? Step. Chapter 6? Easy. Chapter 7? Head. Correct. Head. Chapter 8? Dead. Chapter 9? King. Chapter 10? Sea. Chapter 11? Rupa. And chapter 12? God. Good. You all are good students. So today we are going to discuss chapter 13. The acronym for chapter 13 is WISE. W-I-S-E. So the first 7 verses of this chapter, Arjuna is asking wise questions, intelligent questions. Even to ask questions, you have to be intelligent, right? Otherwise, people can ask any sort of question. So Arjuna is asking certain questions to Lord Krishna in this particular chapter. Text 1, Arjuna Uvacha Prakritim Purusham Chaiva Kshetram Kshetragyam Evacha Etad Veditum Ichchami Jnanam Geyam Chakeshava. So basically, Arjuna is asking Lord Krishna, my dear Lord Krishna, I want to know Prakriti, what is Prakriti, nature. I want to know what is Purusha or who is a Purusha. I want to know the field, Kshetra, we will discuss the field. Kshetragya, the knower of the field. And what is knowledge, Gyan. And Geyam, what is the object of knowledge. So in Krishna consciousness, we have Srila Prabhupada has named this movement as ISKCON, International Society for Krishna Consciousness. ISKCON is also a question for all of us. The question is KC on? KC means Krishna consciousness. Is Krishna consciousness on or off? And in order to make Krishna consciousness on, it's very important that we have intelligent questions. Therefore, whether it is Gita, Bhagavatam, all the Vedic scriptures begins with question and answers. So such question and answers is something that is very important, that helps us focus on the absolute truth. The first sutra of the Vedas, the Vedanta Sutra, explains Atatu Brahma Jigyasa. It is time to ask questions about God. So Arjuna is asking 6 very intelligent questions. The first question he is asking is, what is Prakriti? What is nature? The second question he is asking is, who is the Purusha? Who is the Purusha? The third question Arjuna is asking is, Kshetra, what is the field of activity? We will discuss all this. The fourth is, who is the knower of the field, Kshetragya. The fifth question is, what is Gyan, knowledge? And the sixth question is, what is the object of knowledge? What is to be known? Called Geyam. These are the 6 questions that Arjuna is asking. And this chapter is devoted, Lord Krishna is answering these 6 questions in this chapter. So Lord Krishna in the first verse itself, Lord Krishna is explaining what is the field and who is the knower of the field. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Idam Shariram Kaunteya Kshetram iti abhidiyate Etadyo veti tam praho Kshetragya iti tadvidam. So Lord Krishna is directly going to the answer. Lord Krishna is saying this body is called the field. So the word Kshetra is a field. So just like everyone has a certain land which is theirs, a house that is theirs. So what happens in your house? Your house is your field. So what do you do in your house? That house belongs to you. You know nook and corner of the house, that house belongs to you. You can't claim that everything belongs to you. That house in that 4 walls is yours. Similarly, the scriptures explain our body is like a house. We are not this body. We are the Atma living in the house. So this field, this body, which is our field in which we work, just like in a field someone cultivates, grows crops. So this body, we grow good, bad, we are growing different crops. So this is our field. So Lord Krishna says this body is the field, and one who knows this body is called Kshetragya. He is the knower of the field. So Srila Prabhupada explains in the purport, what this means is very simple understanding. Kshetragya. What is a common sense understanding? It means that we are not this body. This body belongs to us. So these are 2 different things. Kshetra and Kshetragya. Lord Krishna, just like here there is Bhagavad Gita, there is Uddhav Gita where Lord Krishna speaks the knowledge to Uddhava. So Lord Krishna gives an example, fire and firewood. So fire is there on firewood, but still the element fire and firewood are different. Similarly, spirit is there in this body, but the Atma and the body are different. These are 2 different things. The body is called Kshetra and we are the Kshetragya. That's what Prabhupada explains in the purport. In text 3, Lord Krishna explains, Kshetragyam chapi mam viddi Sarva Kshetreshu Bharata Kshetra Kshetragya Jnanam Yattat Jnanam Matam Mama. So Lord Krishna explained, we are, in the previous verse, Lord Krishna says, we are the body is the Kshetra, okay? And we are the Kshetragya. But Lord Krishna says, you should also know that Krishna is also called the Kshetragya. So Kshetragya, one who knows the bodies, there are 2. One is the Atma and one is the Paramatma. But what is the difference? The difference is, Krishna, we know our body, but Krishna knows everyone's body. That is the difference. So Prabhupada explains in the purport, just like a king and the citizen. There may be a king who owns all the land and there may be a citizen who has his piece of land. So the king is the main owner and the citizen is the subordinate owner. Similarly, Krishna is the Paramatma. Everything belongs to Krishna, even our body belongs to Krishna. But for some time we have a certain field. So we are also called Kshetragya and Krishna is also called Kshetragya. So we are knower of our body and Krishna is the super knower. He knows everyone's body. You are understanding this? So Prabhupada explains in the purport, In Bhagavad Gita, basically in this chapter, we will find three things. One is the study of God, Kshetragya, who is the super soul, the study of Atma, who is also called a Kshetragya, and this field, which is matter. So Prabhupada explains in the purport, basically knowledge. Krishna in this chapter explains what is knowledge. And Krishna says knowledge means understanding three things. Understanding what is matter, understanding spirit, the Atma, and to understand who is the controller of matter and spirit. So we call this MSc. Like you have MSc degree. So MSc means knowing matter, knowing spirit, and knowing the controller of both. That's what Lord Krishna explains in this chapter. So Lord Krishna is saying that I am also the Kshetragya, and to understand this body is called knowledge. So Lord Krishna first, he's answered three questions. Arjuna's first question was, Kshetra is this body. What is Kshetra? Krishna says, this body is the Kshetra. Kshetragya is Krishna also and Atma also. And to know this body and to know Krishna is actually Jnana. Text 4. Tad Kshetram Yacha Yadrikcha Yadvikari Yatascha Yat Sacha yo yat prabhavascha tat samasena me shruno. So Lord Krishna says, my dear Arjuna, now I will explain to you what this kshetra is made of, what this field is made of, what it is constituted, what are the changes that happens in this field, in this material world, and when it is produced, and who is the knower of this field, Kshetragya, and what is the influence of the Atma. Lord Krishna says, I will explain to you all this philosophy. And in text 5, Lord Krishna says, this is a very beautiful verse, Rishibir Bahuda Gitam Chandobir Vividay Pratak Brahma Sutra Padaschaiva Hetu Madbir Vinishchite. So Lord Krishna is saying, this knowledge, what I am going to tell you, my dear Arjuna, about field, Kshetra, Kshetragya, is already explained by great sages in the Vedic literatures. It is present in the Vedanta Sutras and all the subordinate Vedic literatures, and I am giving the same reference to you. So here you see Lord Krishna's humility also. Lord Krishna, he is the Supreme Lord. He is the Supreme Authority, the Adi Guru. Does he have to give reference of someone else? He doesn't have to give any reference. But Lord Krishna is also giving reference of great sages. Rishabir Bahuda Gitam. What I am telling you, Arjuna, is explained by great sages, especially the Vedas and the Upanishads. So Bhagavad Gita, when Lord Krishna is telling to Arjuna, Lord Krishna is not telling Arjuna, I am going to tell you something that has never been told before. Krishna is saying, I am telling you what has already been told before. So coming up with something new is not actual religion. Religion means just repeating what is always there. The laws of this world, they cannot change. So Bhagavad Gita, dharmic scriptures are the laws of this world, laws of God. They don't change. You have to just keep repeating them. So Lord Krishna is showing all of us through his own example how important it is to refer to scriptures and are great sadhus who come in Guru Shishya Parampara. So here the word Brahma Sutra Padaschaiva refers to Vedas. So if you have to understand God, you have to refer to the scriptures. So we give this example, Krishna is the Supreme Father, God is Father. If you have to understand the Father, you have to refer to the Mother, and scriptures are the Mother. And Chandobi refers to the other Upanishads. So in all the Vedas and the Upanishads, this philosophy that Lord Krishna is explaining is already there. Therefore, if you go to the 4th chapter of Gita, Lord Krishna tells Arjuna, my dear Arjuna, what I am telling you, I have already spoken before to the Sun God. I am just repeating it again to you. So Sanatan Dharma is an eternal Dharma. The same thing keeps coming again and again. When Lord Krishna tells in the Gita, whenever there is discrepancy in religion, I come. What does it mean is Krishna's system of Dharma is always there. Krishna comes time and again just to re-establish the same Dharma. He doesn't come to establish a new Dharma. He just comes to establish the same age-old Dharma. So now in text 6 and 7, Lord Krishna explains what this kshetra is made of, what this material body is actually made of. Text 6-7. Mahabhutani ahankaro buddhir avyaktam evacha indriyani dashaikam cha panchachendriya gochara ichha dvesha sukham dukkham sangatas chetanadriti etat kshetram samasena savikaram udharatam. So Lord Krishna says, what is this field and its interactions made of? The 5 great elements, Mahabhutani, 5 great elements are earth, water, fire, air, ether. Ahankar, false ego. Buddhir, intelligence, the unmanifest called Pradhan. Indriyani, the senses, Dashaikam, 10 senses, the mind. All this actually make the kshetra. And depending on the interaction of the kshetra, there is desire, ichcha, there is dvesha, hatred, there is happiness, distress, and all these various symptoms. So Prabhupada explains in the purport, this is called Sankhya philosophy, understanding this material world. In this material world, there are 24 elements. That's what the kshetra is made of. Just like now you construct a building, what is a building made of? Basically, bricks, cement, and other things just in different forms. So basically this material world is made of 24 elements. What are the 24 elements? Prabhupada explains in the purport. First is the 5 Mahabhut. This is the 5 main elements in this world, great elements: earth, water, fire, air, ether. Okay, we have to come to the figure of 24. 5 great elements. Along with that, there is false ego, intelligence, and unmanifest modes of nature. Right? So this is called Pradhan. So unmanifest mode of nature, before the whole creation, the entire material world is in an unmanifest form in the body of Mahavishnu. This is called Pradhan. So total it makes it 8. Along with this, you have 5 working senses and 5 knowledge acquiring senses. This is called Gyanendriya, Karmendriya. Like the Gyanendriya is eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin, and the working senses Karmendriya is voice, hands, legs, anus, genitals. So these are the Karmendriya. So together it makes it how many? 18. Now along with this, there is the mind. It becomes 19. And then there is the 5 sense objects. What are the 5 sense objects? Smell, taste, form, touch, sound. So what is the total? 24. So this is what the field kshetra is actually made of. So Prabhupada explains here, understanding the material world and understanding spirit, this is what constitutes real knowledge. And Prabhupada explains here, Bhagavad Gita gives a summary understanding of this, but in Sankhya and in Bhagavatam there is a more detailed understanding. So if you can see in the slide, basically till now Lord Krishna explains kshetra is the field, the body is the kshetra. Kshetragya, the knower of the field, are 2 types. One is Atma, we are the knower of our body, but Krishna in the form of Paramatma is the knower of everyone's body. We are the knower and Krishna is the super knower. And then Jnanam, Arjuna's one question was, what is Jnana? So Lord Krishna explains Jnana means to understand Kshetra and Kshetragya. That means to understand body, soul and super soul is actually Jnana. Okay? So till here, till verse number 7, Arjuna has asked 6 questions, and out of the 6 questions, Lord Krishna has answered 5 questions. One question, which is Geyam, what is the object of knowledge, Lord Krishna answers later. So now 8 to 12, this is the second section. So the acronym for chapter 13 is WISE. The first 1 to 7 verses is WISE questions, W. The I refers to items of knowledge. So Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna, what is the items of knowledge? What are the various things actual knowledge is made of? This is a beautiful set of 4 verses, and these are qualities actually we should meditate on if we want to actually become knowledgeable, or if we claim ourselves to be knowledgeable, intelligent, these are the qualities that we should work on. Beautiful set of verses. We will read these verses and then we will discuss. Prabhupada has given a huge purport, very important purport. We will touch on some important points. Amanitvam adambitvam ahimsa shantirarjavam acharyopasanam shaucham stairyam atma vinigraha indriyateshu vairagyam ahankara evacha anahankara evacha जन्म मृत्यु जरा व्याधि दुःख दोषानुदर्शनम् असक्तिर् अनभिष्वङ्गा पुत्रदारा गृहादिषु नित्यं च समचित्तत्वम् इष्टानिष्टोपपत्तिषु मयि चानन्ययोगेन भक्तिरव्यभिचारिणी विविक्तदेशसेवित्वम् अरतिर्जनसंसदि अध्यात्मज्ञानं नित्यत्वं तत्त्वज्ञानार्थदर्शनम् एतत् ज्ञानम् इति प्रोक्तम् अज्ञानं यत् अतो अन्यथा. So Lord Krishna, in this set of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 verses, Lord Krishna explains 20 items of knowledge. And Lord Krishna concludes, Etat Jnanam iti proktam. These 20 items are knowledge, rest everything is ignorance. Lord Krishna has direct statement saying these 20 things if you have in your life, you are actually following the path, you have the items of knowledge. Rest everything is nonsense, literally. This is what Lord Krishna is saying here. What are the 20 qualities? I'll just read the verse, the translation. Humility, amanitvam, adambitvam, humility, pridelessness, non-violence, tolerance, simplicity, approaching a bona fide spiritual master, cleanliness, steadiness, self-control, renunciation of the objects of sense gratification, absence of false ego, perception of the evil of birth, death, old age and disease, detachment, freedom from entanglement with children, wife, home and the rest, even-mindedness amidst pleasant and unpleasant events, constant and unalloyed devotion to me, aspiring to live in a solitary place, detachment from the general mass of people, accepting the importance of self-realization and philosophical search of the absolute truth. All these I declare to be knowledge, and besides that, whatever there is, it is ignorance. Very clear, clear-cut answer. There cannot be anything more specific than this. So Srila Prabhupada gives a brilliant purport. Please go back home and do read the purport in detail. We will not get into the details, but we will definitely touch on some important points. So Prabhupada explains here, what is knowledge? So Prabhupada says knowledge means, knowledge is not interaction with the field. That is not knowledge. Generally, the knowledge that is there in this world, what is knowledge? When you understand the kshetra, earth, water, fire, air, when you understand this, people think that this is knowledge. Lord Krishna doesn't define that as knowledge. Lord Krishna doesn't say engineering, medical, this, that. There's nothing here. Do you find anything of that here? There's nothing here. So Lord Krishna says this is not knowledge. What is knowledge? Knowledge is not the interaction of 24 elements. Knowledge is how to get out of these 24 elements. That is knowledge. Just getting entangled in this world, that is not knowledge. Real knowledge is how to get out of this entanglement of these 24 elements. So therefore, Prabhupada mentions here, this line in the 11th verse, these verse numbers are from 8 to 12. The 11th verse, Mai Chanenya Yogena Bhaktir Avyabhicharini. So Lord Prabhupada explains here the most important 20 items here. The most important is Bhaktir Avyabhicharini. That means unalloyed devotional service. Out of these 20 items, this is the most important, Prabhupada is saying. Why? Because if this item is there, unalloyed bhakti to Krishna is there, all other items will come. But if you have all the other 19 and you don't have devotion to Krishna, all the other 19 is also useless. Therefore, there's a verse in the Bhagavatam that Prabhupada quotes here. Yashasti bhaktir bhagavati akinchana sarver gunes tatra samasate sura. Anyone who's having pure devotion to Krishna, automatically all these qualities come. And for these qualities to come to practice bhakti, what is important is the 8th verse, the first verse, the second line, acharyo pasanam. That means one has to approach a spiritual master who will teach you the science of bhakti. And when you practice the science of bhakti, one by one, all these qualities will come. So now Prabhupada gets into each of this quality. One paragraph, Prabhupada devotes to each of the quality. We will not get into all the paragraph, but we will just touch on each of these points. Prabhupada defines humility. The first quality is amanitvam. The first quality that Lord Krishna speaks about knowledge is amanitvam, being humble. So humility, Prabhupada says, one should not be anxious to receive honor from others. One should be very, very humble. The second quality is non-violence. So non-violence generally means not destroying another's body. But Prabhupada explains real non-violence means not giving distress to anyone. Even mentally not giving distress to anyone. And most important thing Prabhupada says, if you are actually non-violent, if you want to help others, the best is to preach Krishna consciousness. Give them the knowledge of Krishna. That is the best non-violent work. Tolerance means one has to practice bearing insult and dishonor. And Prabhupada explains here, even people who are advanced, who are in the path of bhakti, they will have to face insult and dishonor. You have to learn to tolerate. Just like you have Prahlad Maharaj, Haridas Thakur, Tukaram Maharaj, they all went through their own court of insults and dishonor, but they just tolerated. The next quality is simplicity. Simplicity means no diplomacy, no duplicity. Straightforward, that means you are ready to speak the truth even to your enemy. Practically, that means in one sense, no secrets. Cleanliness. Cleanliness means shaucham, internal and external. So external cleanliness, you take bath, right? And internal cleanliness, you chant Hare Krishna. Steadiness means determination. So Prabhupada mentions here, without determination, steadiness, one cannot make any tangible progress. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. So in the path of bhakti, you have to make progress, you have to be steady. You can't be like a shooting star. You have to be like a pole star, that is constantly there. And self-control means one should not accept anything that is not good for bhakti. That's all self-control is. This is real renunciation. And then Prabhupada explains, real self-control, control of the senses, begins with controlling the tongue, jiva. And the tongue has two functions. One is to taste and one is to vibrate. So the way you control your senses is, what you eat should be prasad and what you speak should be about Krishna. Bas, that's the only thing. That means what goes inside your tongue should be prasad and what words come out from your tongue should be about Krishna. Then all other senses get automatically controlled. And Prabhupada mentions here, as far as eyes, one should look at the deities of Krishna. As far as ears, one should hear about Krishna. False ego. Lord Krishna says one of the quality of knowledge is one should be free from false ego. False ego means what? Accepting that one is the body. Real ego means accepting that I am actually Atma. Aham Brahmasmi, I am spirit. And one should understand, Lord Krishna explains in this verse, Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi Dukkha Doshanu Darshanam. One should understand the problems with birth, old age, disease, death. So we all know that birth is a suffering. One has to be in the womb of a mother for so long. Then after you are born, there is so many diseases. There is old age, and then there is death. We are seeing the news around of this Ahmedabad plane crash. It's such a shocking news. It's like it's practically shaken India and the entire world. So Prabhupada mentions here, unless we have a pessimistic view of the material world, there is no impetus for making advancement in spiritual life. So when we get news like this, we feel very sad. Definitely sad for all those who have left their bodies and for their families who are actually grieving. But it's also a message for all of us. It's Krishna's message for all of us that, Baba, you have to be more serious in spiritual life. Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi, these are the problems in this world. So don't try to just settle in this world, try to go back to Krishna, take up bhakti more seriously. So these are wake-up calls that Krishna is giving here. So Prabhupada mentions, when we understand the problems in this world, we will have more impetus to actually surrender to Krishna. Having detachment from children, family, home. How can one develop it? It doesn't mean that you don't have any feelings for them. Prabhupada mentions here, the best way is you don't become attached to them. And the best way is in your family, you connect Krishna in the family. With the family members, you chant Hare Krishna, you read Gita together, you worship deities together. If you do this, then family will not be an entanglement. That same family will be the source of your liberation. So Prabhupada mentions here, if the family is favorable, continue. If not, Prabhupada says, take sannyas. But that's the point, trying to, in the family, trying to be Krishna conscious. And then one should learn to tolerate happiness and distress. Because both come in this world. This is the nature of this world. One has to learn to tolerate and keep going. One more very important point is, like Lord Krishna mentions here, one should stay away from people who are not devotees. Stay away from the general mass of people. This is something that is very important. Asat sanga tyag yahi Vaishnavachar. Mahaprabhu said devotee means he gives up association of wrong people. And then for self-realization, as Lord Krishna explained, one has to practice pure devotional service. And then Lord Krishna concludes, one's aim in life is philosophical search for the absolute truth. In this life, somehow we have to achieve Krishna. That kind of greed should be there. Somehow, I have to achieve Krishna in this life. This is actually knowledge. So Prabhupada mentions in the last purport, right from the first quality, humility, till the end, search for the absolute. This is like a staircase going to Krishna, right? So someone may be on different levels, but what is most important is one has to come to the understanding of Krishna. It starts with humility, but it ends where did Lord Krishna end the thing? Search for the absolute. That means if you have all different qualities, but if you don't have Krishna in your life, if you have not reached that point, then that means your knowledge is completely useless. So one has to come to the point of understanding Krishna. That is the essence. That is the essence of all knowledge. So these are the items of knowledge that Lord Krishna explains from verse number 8 to 12. So amanitvam, madambitvam, ahimsa, shantir, arjavam, acharya upasanam, like that. Okay? Now the next section, 13 to 19, Lord Krishna explains about Atma and Paramatma. So if you remember, how did Lord Krishna define what is to be known, what we have to know, who is the Kshetragya, the knower of the field. Lord Krishna says Atma and Paramatma. So now Lord Krishna is giving more information about Atma and Paramatma. Text 13. Geyam yattat pravakshami yadgyatvam ashnute anadi mat paramam brahma nasattan nasad uchyate. So Lord Krishna says Geyam. So the last question, 5 questions Lord Krishna answered before, only one question was left. Geyam. What does Geyam means? What is to be known? What is the object of knowledge? So Lord Krishna is saying, now I will explain to you knowable, what is to be known. If you understand this, you will experience eternal bliss. So Lord Krishna says Brahman spirit is actually one thing that you have to know. He is the Geyam. And here when Lord Krishna is referring to spirit, he is referring to the soul, Atma. So Lord Krishna is saying basically in this material world, being in this material world, one has to realize oneself, Atma. We have to understand that I am not the body, I am spirit soul. As soon as you come to this level, you will experience a certain level of bliss. So text 13, Lord Krishna speaks about soul, the principle of Atma. And then in 14 onwards till the end, Lord Krishna speaks about Paramatma. So in one sense, what is to be known is Atma and Paramatma. But of both, what is more important is Paramatma. So one verse devoted for Atma and rest of the verses devoted for Paramatma. So what is to be known? What is the aim of knowledge? Just like you have an experiment, anytime you do an experiment, your aim is very clear. What you have to achieve. So now Krishna is saying here in this set of verses, what is the thing that we have to actually focus on? What is the object of knowledge, which is the Paramatma? And how does Lord Krishna define the Paramatma as the Supreme Lord? Text 14. Sarvata pani padam tat sarvato shiromukam sarvata shruti malloke sarvam avritya tishtati. So we already defined, Lord Krishna already defined Kshetragya. We are the Kshetragya and Krishna is also the Kshetragya. What is the difference? We know our field, but Krishna knows everything. Our hands and legs are limited. With my hand, how much my hand can reach, I can take that only. If something is very far, with my hand I will not be able to reach there. But Krishna's hands are everywhere. Krishna's legs are everywhere. Everything is a Kshetra. So how does Lord Krishna define the Paramatma as? Everywhere are his hands, legs, eyes, heads, faces, ears. In this way, the super soul pervades everything. So in Vedic scriptures, you have verses like this. Lord has thousands of, millions of hands, millions of legs. That means what? He can do his work through anything. His hands and legs, eyes, ears are unlimited. So Prabhupada gives an example. The sun may be in one place, but the sun rays is there everywhere. Similarly, Krishna, he is there in one place in the spiritual world, but Krishna's all-pervading energy is everywhere. Or Prabhupada would give this example. Ambani may be sitting somewhere, right? And he has like thousands of companies. He is sitting in one place, but he knows what is happening everywhere. So like that, Krishna is in one place, but Lord Krishna knows everything. Therefore, there may be thousands of devotees who are offering to Krishna, and Krishna is eating in 1,000 different places. Because his mouth is everywhere, his hands are everywhere. That's what Lord Krishna explains here. Text 15. Sarvendriya gunabhasam Sarvendriya vivarjitam Asaktam sarva brichaiva Nirgunam gunabhoktracha. This super soul, so it's very clear that Prabhupada mentions here, it's very clear that these set of verses refer to whom? Super soul, not to Atma. Because we cannot have hands everywhere, we cannot have heads everywhere. This super soul, he is the source of all senses. And even though he is the source of all senses, he is without senses. So understanding Krishna is not easy. Krishna is the source of all indriya. Still, Sarvendriya gunabhasam, Sarvendriya vivarjitam. From him all senses come, but he doesn't have senses. That means what? He doesn't have material senses like you and me. And then it says, Asaktam sarvabritchaiva. He maintains everyone, but still, he is still detached. When you maintain something, you become attached to it. But Lord Krishna has both these extremes perfectly fitting in him. Right? He maintains everyone, but still he is not attached. Right? He is, from him, nirgunam guna bhoktracha. From him, all the modes of nature come. The three modes of nature come from him, but still he is transcendental to the modes. The modes are depending on him, still he is transcendental. So you will find these verses in scriptures. Krishna is nirguna also and he is guna also. Krishna is asaktam also and still he is maintaining. Krishna is the source of all senses, still he doesn't have material senses. So in this way, Lord Krishna is explaining about the Paramatma. Text 16. Bahir antascha bhutanam acharam charam evacha shukshmatvat tat avigyeyam durastam chantike cha tat. These qualities only Krishna can have, super soul. Here it says Bahir antascha bhutanam. This super soul is outside also, is inside also. Bahir Narsingo, Hridaye Narsingo, Yato Yato Yami Tato Narsingo. Krishna is outside, inside, everywhere. Right? So we were explaining in one of the Bhagavatam classes, when Lord Krishna ate that mud in Vrindavan, Vriddhabhakshan Leela, Yashoda tells Krishna, open your mouth, and Krishna opens his mouth. What does Yashoda see? Yashoda sees the entire universe within Krishna, all the universes. And she sees herself in the belly of Krishna, looking at Krishna. Now the question is Krishna in the universe or is the universe in Krishna? Krishna appeared in the universe, But the universe is in Krishna. How can you understand this? You will not be able to understand fully. Right? You have to just surrender to Krishna. So here he says he's inside, he's outside. So he's so subtle because he's beyond the power of senses. Shukshmatat avigyeyam. Even though Krishna may be in front of us, still we may not be able to see him. And where is Krishna? Turam stam chantike chat. Krishna is far also, yet very near. He's there in the Paramatma. He's far also, still is very, very near. So these are the qualities of Krishna. Right? Text 17. Avibhaktam cha bhuteshu vibhaktam iva chat sthitam bhutabhratrat chat geyam grashnishu prabha vishnu cha. Although Krishna appears to be divided, like Paramatma, how many Paramatmas are there? Everyone's heart there is Paramatma. Everyone's heart there is Paramatma, and every atom there is Paramatma. So Krishna is divided, still he is not divided. He still is same. Paramatma is divided, still he is not divided. He is still one. And he is the maintainer of everyone. Still Krishna is the annihilator also. He is maintaining also, he is annihilating also. So this is the beauty of the Paramatma feature. So Prabhupada explains, how can you understand that Krishna is divided yet not divided? Just like the sun may be in one place, but anyone may, at noon time someone will say the sun is above my head. But sun is there, you ask everyone will say sun is above my head. How can the sun be above everyone's head? But that's how it is. Right? Sun is there in one place, but everyone feels that sun is above me. So Krishna is in one place, still Krishna is divided in Paramatmas, in everyone's heart. And Krishna is the maintainer also, and Krishna is the annihilator also. In the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, we saw how Lord Krishna is the annihilator. He is destroying everything. Text 18. Jyotisam api tajyotish tamasa paramuchyate jnanam geyam jnanagamyam hridhi sarvasya vistitam. So Krishna is Jyotisam api tajyotis. He is the source of luminous objects. So in science, we have learned that moon reflects the sunshine, the rays of the sunshine. The moon doesn't have its own reflecting power. So the moon derives light from the sun. It's reflecting the sun rays. Where the sun gets its energy from? The scriptures explain the sun reflects the light of Brahma Jyoti. And Brahma Jyoti reflects the effulgence that is coming from Krishna. So ultimately Krishna is the source of all light. And is beyond darkness and is unmanifest. So Lord Krishna is saying here, Tamasa param uchyate. Tamasa. What does tamasa mean? Tama means ignorance. Tamasa basically means uttama, means beyond ignorance. And Lord Krishna, this is the conclusion. So basically Lord Krishna is answering the sixth question. What is the sixth question? What is the object of knowledge? Lord Krishna is saying, Krishna, that Supreme Lord, He is the object of knowledge. He is the goal of knowledge and He is situated in everyone's heart. Geyam, Jnanam, everything is ultimately to understand Krishna. The 15th chapter, 15th verse, Lord Krishna says, Vedeshta sarver ahameva vedyo vedanta krit veda videva chaham. Ultimately, through all knowledge, one has to understand Krishna. If you have understood Krishna, full marks. If you have not understood Krishna, 0. Right? So it's not like 10%, 20%. It's either full or 0. If you have understood Krishna, 100%. If you have not understood Krishna, everything is a 0. So this is what Lord Krishna explains in this section. And text 19, Lord Krishna says, the last verse of this section, soul and super soul. Iti kshetram tata jnanam gyeyam choktam samasata madbhakta etad vigyaya madbhavopapadyate. Lord Krishna says, thus I have summarily explained Kshetra and Kshetra Jnanam. I have explained the field, body, knowledge and knowable. Kshetra, Kshetragya and Geyam, knowledge. Everything Lord Krishna has explained. And then Lord Krishna says, these things can be understood only by my devotees. Outside people cannot understand this. So Prabhupada explains in the purport, knowledge basically means knowing the knower, knowing what is knowable and the process of knowing. So if Prabhupada summarizes here, verse number 6 to 7, 6 and 7, the first set of verses Arjuna is asking question. Then verse number 6 and 7, Lord Krishna is explaining Kshetra. We saw the 24 elements, na? Right? 5 gross elements, Gyanendriya, Karmendriya, that is the Kshetra. Right? Krishna is explaining Kshetra. Then 8 to 12, those set of 20 qualities, Lord Krishna is explaining the process of knowledge. Kshetra was explaining the process of knowledge. Now, verse number 13 to 18, Lord Krishna is explaining soul and super soul. This is what the whole understanding of nature, enjoyer and consciousness is. Now, the last section, verse number 20 to 35, Lord Krishna explains of who is the supreme enjoyer. He's already touched that Krishna is the supreme enjoyer, but then he explains a little more about the Paramatma here. Text 20. We will go through these verses a little quicker. Prakritim purusham chaiva vidhi anadi ubhavapi vikramscha gunamschaiva vidhi prakriti sambhavan. So Lord Krishna explains the living entities and Prakriti Purusham Chaiva. So Krishna is also called Purusha, enjoyer, and we are also called Purusha. But we are not the ultimate Purusha, we are not the enjoyers. We are still dependent on Krishna's enjoyment. We are subordinate enjoyers. Right? So Lord Krishna explains here, the living entities, we as Purusha and Prakriti, material nature, both is beginningless. That means it keeps going on and on. Living entity is eternal. Similarly, Prakriti, material nature, the transformation of material nature keeps happening, but Prakriti is in one sense eternal. This process of creation keeps going on and on. Text 21. Karya karana kritartve hetu prakritir uchyate purusha sukha dukkana bhoktritve hetu uchyate. So Lord Krishna says, Karya karana kritartve hetu prakritir uchyate. So Lord Krishna is explaining about Prakriti and Purusha. Nature, material nature and living entities. Material nature is because of cause and effect. Nature is said to be the cause of material causes and the effect. So in material nature you have cause and effect. And the living entity what it does? Purusha Sukha Dukkhanam. Prakriti provides resources for us. But depending on what we do with the resources, we either enjoy or suffer. So this is very interesting. Krishna is the Purusha. Purusha basically means the enjoyer. Krishna is the enjoyer. We are also enjoyers. But the problem is, our enjoyment is filled with a lot of suffering also. It's not that we have pure enjoyment here. We enjoy, and that same enjoyment brings a lot of suffering to us also. So in one sense, we are actually not Purushas. We are actually not Purushas. If we are Purushas, we should be able to enjoy eternally. Our enjoyment is not like that. We are actually not Purushas. And in the next verse, text 22, which is a very important verse, Lord Krishna says, as living entities, if we don't know how to deal in this world, we may actually suffer by taking different births. Sometimes the wire gets a little loose. Just 1 minute, नहीं हो जाएगा. Just 1 minute, let me just connect it back. हाँ हो जाएगा. हाँ okay. ठीक है? Okay. So in the next verse number 22 is a very important verse. Purusha prakriti stohi bhunte prakriti jangunan karanam guna sangasya sad asadyoni janmasho. So Lord Krishna is saying here, the living entity, he follows this ways of life and he enjoys material nature. So depending on the association, karana guna sangasya, depending on the association, Sat asat yoni janmashu. We will get a birth, a good birth or a bad birth. We will get a better life or a worse life. This is the choice that we have. So that means this verse, Prabhupada explains here, is a very important verse to understand how the living entity transmigrates from one species to another, from one form to another. So because of the desire to enjoy and because of the karma that we do, we may become a demigod, we may become a man, we may become an animal, we could become anything. So it all depends on what our association is. Karanam guna sangasya. So therefore, what is our next life going to be depends on what is the association in the present life. So association is the key. Sadhu sanga sarva shastra kahe, lava matra sadhu sanga sarva siddhi hoye. Whether we are going to have a better life, whether we are going to back to the spiritual world, whether we are going to get a spiritual body, it all depends on whom we associate with. In English there is a saying, we are neither good nor bad, we are only products of association. If you associate with good people, you are going to become good. If you associate with bad people, a good guy will also become bad. So it all depends on whom we associate with. And Prabhupada explains here, this Krishna conscious movement is created so that we can give right association. International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Prabhupada made the society because human beings are social animals. We want to socialize. So we have made this society so that we can socialize with devotees. And the best way is the process of hearing. Prabhupada mentions here, if we hear from Krishna, if we hear in association of devotees, gradually this desire to enjoy will go away and the desire to serve Krishna will come, and then we'll go back to the spiritual world. Text 23. Lord Krishna is now, till here, Lord Krishna spoke about living entities. We are Purusha. But what kind of Purusha we are? We suffer a lot also. Again, if we enjoy little, and there is suffering more. If you analyze our own life, how much enjoyment is there, how much suffering is there? Suffering is more, enjoyment is less. That is the kind of Purusha we are. But there is another Purusha in the same body who is the Paramatma. And his level is completely different. Text 23, which is a very important verse in this section and in the entire chapter. Upadrashta anumanta cha bharta bhokta maheshwara paramatmeti chapi gupto degesmin purusha para. So Lord Krishna says, yet in this body there is another transcendental enjoyer. In this own body, in our body, there is one enjoyer, all of us living entity. We are trying to enjoy, but then we are suffering only. But in the same body, there is another enjoyer. And who is this enjoyer? Purusha. He is also Purusha. But what kind of Purusha? Purusha para. We are Purusha, but we are not the supreme Purusha. So Lord Krishna is called Purushottama, the best of all people. So Lord Krishna is the Paramatma. He is the supreme proprietor. Upadrashta anumanta cha bharta bhokta maheshwara. Maheshwara means the supreme Lord. Upadrashta. So basically these are the qualities of the Paramatma. Just give me a second. Yeah. So 5 roles of the Paramatma in our life. So the first role is Upadrashta. Upadrashta means overseer, supervisor, or witness. So Lord Krishna is a continuous witness as the Paramatma. He is like the CCTV camera who is actually seeing everything, whatever we are doing. So Krishna is the overseer, he is the witness, a constant witness that is there, a silent witness. And then Anumanta. Anumanta means Paramatma sanctions and fulfills our desire. He is the sanctioner also. We may have a certain desire, we may want to enjoy Prakriti, but if Krishna's sanction is not there, it will not happen. His sanction has to be there. Right? For a flight to take off also, his sanction is needed ultimately. Without that, nothing can happen. Right? You will just get grounded completely. So he is the sanctioner. He is the one who allows us to carry out with our desire. Bharta. Bharta means Krishna is the maintainer. We may think that we are maintaining the family, we are doing this, we are doing that, but ultimately the one who is maintaining is Krishna. Prabhupada would often give this example. There are so many living entities in this world. So many elephants, so many dogs and insects and ants. Who is maintaining all of them? None of them go to a job also. But Krishna is maintaining all of them. Bharata. Bhokta is enjoyer. So therefore, this chapter is called Nature, Prakriti, Enjoyer and Consciousness. So we are enjoyers, but actually we are not right enjoyers. We are trying to imitate Krishna, but we will never be able to imitate. Krishna is actually Bhokta. As Lord Jagannath, every day Lord Krishna eats 56 items, Chappan Bhog. Can we eat that? We may have a desire to eat it, but we will not be able to eat it. So Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. In this way, and then Maheshwara. Maheshwara means supreme controller. We may be little controllers, but we are not the supreme controller. Krishna is the supreme controller. So we will read the next set of verses. Text 24. Ya evam veti purusham prakritim che gune saha sarvata vartamanopi nasabhuyo bijayate. So even though this chapter maybe is a little philosophical, of all the chapters of Bhagavad Gita, this chapter is quite philosophical, quite complex. But Lord Krishna says, understanding this philosophy, one should not be lazy. And then Lord Krishna says, one who understands, ye evam veti purusham prakritim cha gune saha. One who understands this philosophy about Prakriti, nature, one who understands Purusha as Atma, Paramatma, such a person will not take birth again. Nasabhuyo bijayate. One who understands this philosophy, especially about Krishna, how Krishna is not the Atma, Krishna is the Supreme Lord, he will not have to take birth again in this world. That's the advantage of investing time and intelligence in understanding even complex philosophy. When we understand this philosophy, we actually can conquer the cycle of birth and death. Text 25. Dhyanenatmani pashyanti kechit atmanam atmana anya sankena yogena karma yogena chapare. So Lord Krishna says, this super soul, the Paramatma, some perceive the super soul through meditation, dhyana, some through cultivation of knowledge, and others through working without fruitive desires, through karma yoga. Text 26. Anye to eyam ajananta shrutva nebhya upasate tepi chati taranti eva mrityum shruti parayana. Text 26 in another very important verse, Lord Krishna says, and again there are those people who don't know anything about God, but Shrutva Anyebhya Upasate. When such people hear about Krishna, then by hearing about Krishna, they gradually transcend the cycle of birth and death. So again, Prabhupada mentions in this purport, the process of hearing is very, very important. There are 9 limbs of bhakti: Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Atma Nivedanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, like that. But the most important is Shravanam, hearing about Krishna or reading about Krishna. When we hear about Krishna, then we can actually transcend the cycle of birth and death. This is the most important if you have to actually realize Krishna. Therefore, Lord Krishna is stressing here, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the same Krishna who came 500 years ago, he also stressed on this point of hearing about Krishna. Mahaprabhu said, you don't have to change your position. Sthane sthita shruti gatam tanuva manobi. You don't have to change your position. You don't have to become a sannyasi, brahmachari. Stay where you are and hear about Krishna from the right sources. You will automatically transcend. Text 27. Yavat sanjayate kinchit Sattvam stavara jangamam Kshetragya samyoga Tadvidi bharatashraba. So Lord Krishna says, whatever you see in this world, stavara jangama. Stavara is that which is not moving, jangama, that is moving. That means whatever you see, moving, non-moving things in this world, everything is a combination of Kshetra, Kshetragya. So that means Lord Krishna is saying this material world is a combination of matter and spirit mixed together. In the spiritual world there is pure spirit. In the material world there is a mix of matter and spirit. It's all mixed up together, but still those who have the vision can see the difference. Right? How the spirit is there in the body, externally you might not be able to see, but if you have the vision, you'll be able to see the difference. The difference is still there. you can still see the difference. So this is what Lord Krishna explains. Everything in this world is a combination of matter and spirit. So now, in the next verse, Lord Krishna explains, Samam sarveshu bhuteshu tishtantam parameshwaram vinashyatso avinashyantam ya pashyati sapashyati. One who sees that the super soul Paramatma is accompanying the individual soul, and one who understands the soul and the super soul understands that even when the body is destroyed, the soul and the super soul continues. So here, Lord Krishna is saying, Ya pashyati sapashyati. One who understands the Atma, and more than the Atma, one who understands Krishna in the form of the Paramatma, he is there continuously with all of us. Even though we have forgotten Krishna, but Krishna has not left us. He is continuously there with all of us. We generally give this example. One time there was a king. This king had 4 wives. And the first wife the king really loved so much. And the last wife literally he neglected. When he was at the time of his death, he was trying to tell his first wife, will you come with me? Wherever I go in the next life. The first wife, she says, I will not come with you. I will come with you only till the funeral pyre. I will not go ahead. So the king had so much, he had invested so much time and love and affection for this wife, she's not ready to go. So the king turned to the second wife, will you come with me? The second wife said, I already have an affair with somewhere else. I'm just waiting for you to die, I will go. So the king was all the more devastated. He turned to the third wife, will you come with me? She said, I will come only to the doorstep. I will not come ahead. The king was so dejected. That time the fourth wife comes and she tells, I will come with you. And the king was thinking, this is the wife I neglected completely and she is ready to come. So devotees give this example. We all have 4 wives like this. The first wife, which is most dear to us, is our body. But the point is what? The body will come only till the funeral pyre. Beyond that, it will not come. Just few days ago, when we do kirtan, we will pray. One of our devotees, Nikhil, young boy, his father passed away. Suddenly, heart attack, he was alone at his house. Passed away. So, that's all. The body which we cherish so much, is there till the funeral pyre, nothing more than that. The second wife that is very dear to us is money. Money comes with us till when? Probably even in this life it will even go. In this air crash, they were like very rich people and very successful people. Gone. The money is left here, they have just gone. So we get so attached to our money, wealth. But money is called chanchal. Even in this life, there is no guarantee it's going to remain with you. It will go to someone else. The third wife we are very attached to is our relatives. We have great hope. But literally, no one comes up. No one comes up. Right? So ultimately, even if they come, they will come to the doorstep. At least the ladies, they don't go further. The fourth wife, which we all have, we neglect her the most. That is the Paramatma. We don't even look at the Paramatma, but Paramatma is the one who comes with us life after life, body after body. So here Lord Krishna is saying, Samam sarveshu bhuteshu tishtantam parameshwaram. This Paramatma, Krishna in this feature is continuously coming with us birth after birth. Text 29. Samam pashyan hi sarvatra samavastitam ishwaram na hinatsi atmanatmanam tato yati param gatim. One who sees super soul present everywhere, such a person doesn't degrade himself with the mind. So Lord Krishna in the Uddhav Gita also explains there are 2 ways in which we can see this world, or we can see others. We can see that this world is meant for my enjoyment. Second is when we see Krishna's presence everywhere. We saw in the 10th chapter of Gita, Lord Krishna says, I am the ocean, I am this, I am that. Lord Krishna is explaining so many things. So this world, the second vision, Vastu Drishti, one vision is this world is for my enjoyment. Second vision is this world belongs to Krishna, created by Krishna. This world is meant to be used in Krishna's service. So when we see everyone and we see the Paramatma feature everywhere, then we don't degrade ourselves. We are seeing Krishna everywhere. we'll immediately elevate ourselves and we will not degrade ourselves. Text 30. Prakrityaivacha karmani kriyamanani sarvasha ya pashyati tatatmanam akrittaram sapashyati. So Lord Krishna says, the self, the Atma in one sense doesn't do anything. It is the body that actually creates all the kind of karma. This Atma in one sense is still transcendental. Text 31. Yada bhuta pritag bhavam ekastam anupashyati tata eva cha vistaram brahma samadhyate tada. So, Lord Krishna says a sensible man, an intelligent man, he sees that the bodies may be different, but the Atma is still the same everywhere. The Paramatma feature is the same everywhere. If anyone has this conception, he will equally see, he will have respect for every creation and every children of God. So this is the kind of vision that Lord Krishna wants us to have. When we are Krishna conscious, what does Krishna conscious means? We are seeing Krishna everywhere. We are seeing Krishna's presence everywhere. Naturally, we'll be very respectful, very humble. We'll treat everyone, everything and everyone in this world very, very respectfully. Text 32. Anaditvan nirgunatvan paramatmayam avyaya sharirastopi kaunteya na karoti na lipyate. So Lord Krishna says, anyone who has this kind of vision of eternity, one who sees that imperishable soul, he understands that this soul is eternal even though it isn't a temporary body. So if someone understands this philosophy, this plane crash was definitely quite a shock. It will take quite some time to come out. But also we have this understanding of the Gita that the body may have to go through certain changes, death and so many changes, but the soul is eternal. The journey of the soul just continues. So if you understand this principle, you will be a little more equipoised to handle different situations in life. The soul does not do anything and neither is the soul entangled. Text 33, Lord Krishna gives an example how to understand this, that the soul is there in the body, but still in one sense the soul still has its own separate existence. Text 33, Yata sarvagatan sukshman akasham nopa lipyate sarvatra vashito dehe tata atma no lipyate. Just like the sky, air is there in everything practically, but air is still separate. So Prabhupada mentions here the air enters into mud, stool, the air may enter into so many things, but still the air has its own purity. It's still not mixed up, right? When someone is cremated, ultimately everything, it's there, still it has its own separate existence. Similarly, the soul may enter into the body, but the soul is still not mixed up with the matter. It still has its own pure existence. The soul is still separate from the body. Text 34. Yata prakashyati ekaha krishnam lokam imam ravi kshetram kshetri tata krishnam prakashyati bharata. My dear Arjuna, just like the sun illuminates the entire universe, so the living entity illuminates the entire body. So consciousness is the symptom of the soul. The soul is there in one part of the body, but the consciousness is there everywhere. The symptom of the soul. Similarly, the sun may be in one part, but the sunshine is everywhere throughout the universe. Text 35. Kshetra kshetragyar evam antaram jnana chakshusha bhuta prakritim moksham cha ye vidur yanti te param. This is the last verse in this chapter. Lord Krishna says, those who see with the eyes of knowledge, this word is very important. Jnana chakshusha, antaram jnana chakshusha. So now we are seeing this world with these eyes. But when we understand scriptures, we will see this world through the eyes of scriptures. Right? This plane crash, so many people are hearing this news. But for most of them, it's like, I mean, they're still thinking out, probably the Boeing engine is a problem, this is a problem, that is a problem. But they're not able to see that this incident is a wake-up call for you and me. They're not able to connect it. So many incidents, one after another, people are not able to appreciate this fact. Because they have not come to any satsang, they have not read any books. They don't have the vision to see. Jnana chakshusha, the vision to see will come while we hear and read scriptures. So Lord Krishna says, those with the eyes of knowledge, those who see with the eyes of knowledge, the difference between the body and the knower of the body, can also attain the process of liberation from the bondage of material nature and attain the supreme goal. Param gataha. So if you understand this whole concept that how we are different from this body and how Krishna is there in this body, very mercifully accompanying us everywhere, and when we understand the process of knowledge, those 20 limbs, of which the most important is unalloyed devotional service, then we can actually attain liberation and attain Krishna, which is the goal of life. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki. Anyone has any questions, any comments? Little technical chapter today.
At the end, all this I declare to be knowledge, and beside this, whatever damage you, this is knowledge. What is that?
What does it mean?
Yeah. Here on the bad qualities he explained, and very well. What is left?
What did he explain? All the good qualities.
Bad qualities.
Bad qualities are not here.
Yeah, no, good qualities.
Yeah.
Then what is, whatever they may be,
It's all ignorance, yeah. So Lord Krishna is saying then, knowledge is simple. You revolve around these 20 qualities. This is what you have to cultivate. And out of this 20 also, Prabhupada is mentioning very clearly what is most important. If you ask what is real knowledge, it's actually Krishna Bhakti. That's what it is. That's what Prabhupada is stressing. Of all the 20, most important is Bhakti to Krishna. Avyabhicharini Bhakti, pure devotional service. This is real knowledge. If you are having this, then everything else is there. But if this is missing, then everything is missing. That's what Prabhupada explains in essence. Okay? So, thank you very much. Yeah. Yeah, we can do it.
Another big problem we have sort of.
Yeah. You want to do some announcements?
वो नहीं करेगा.
But you can announce that we are going to start soon.
Hare Krishna. So a very nice class by His Grace Achyut Gopal Guruji. So let us thank him for this wonderful class in a traditional manner.